Our group has made a workshop for communicating through the generational differences in the workplace. The coordinators of this project are Emma Holland,
Chase Hoover,
Shay Daly,
TJ Vance.
Natalie Newman.
Our scenario we picked focused on misunderstandings in the workplace between generations, specifically baby boomers and Generation Y. These misunderstandings lead to bigger issues such as chaotic work environment and tension among employees, eventually affecting the organization as a whole. We will address the issue through improving cross collaboration through classroom-based on-the-job training workshops. Our overall learning objectives are participants will be able to bridge the communication gap between generations in the workplace. Number 2 is participants should be able to allow each generation to understand viewpoints of various generations. And number 3 is participants should be able to connect with one another through the medium of generational differences in the workplace. Our workshops span over a 4-week period. Each workshop will be on a Monday. Workshop 1 is generation gaps. What are they and how do they affect the workplace? Workshop 2 is generational differences in everyday life. Workshop 3 are strategies to reach synergy in multi-generational workplaces. And day 4 will be reflection.
On the first day, we will introduce generational differences, the conflicts that can arise, the value of having a multi-generational workforce, and why improving communication among groups is important. Participants will take a survey stating what generation they are in and how they feel about communication, work ethic, and conflict within the generations in the workplace. We chose the first day to go into more depth.
So this is the PowerPoint that we created to help facilitate the first workshop, and it'll basically be going into depth about what a generation is, what generation the people fall in, and kind of how it's important in the workplace. And so we start out stating the objectives that we're going to be covering that the people should be comfortable with by the end of it. And so we have a few activities where they write down what their generation is, what generation they think they're in, and then we give them the answers afterwards. And then we go into depth about each generation specifically and kind of the stereotypes of each generation along with their strengths in the workplace and kind of do a discussion based on that. And then we talk about the challenges that are big in the workplace with generational issues and then go into resolving how they can be resolved.
We then go on to talk about resolving generational conflict in the workplace. We use examples to help them understand the importance of open communication.
Afterwards, we will get into groups of 4 to 5 people from different generations. They will be reading out different case studies that we created, and they will try to answer the questions in about a 5 to 10 minute time frame.
This survey is our evaluation tool. It will be taken at the end of the first workshop and then the end of the last workshop as well. The survey is on their opinions of generational differences in their workplace. Positive changes in their answers will show that the 3 workshops were effective and that they were more knowledgeable about how to communicate to other generations.
The second workshop is generational differences in everyday life. At this workshop, we will discuss topics such as generational labels, definitions, and etc. The activity on this day will be participants will create a list of what they think the positive things of each generation are, and then we will discuss. The third day and third workshop is strategies to reach synergy in the multi-generational workplace. On this day, we will offer guidance around setting expectations, adjusting behaviors, and building stronger integrational teams. On this day, participants will perform a task in a group and discuss the challenges they faced when completing the task. The fourth and final workshop will be a reflection on everything that they've learned within the past month. On this day, we will build on previous activities and wrap up the overall workshop. Participants will explain what they learned and how their ideas of working with different generations has expanded. Then they will take a short survey that was taken on the first day to evaluate what the participants have learned and how the sessions have changed their views.